righty, righty, righty. Hold on. Let me lower my screen. All right. Let me know if you guys can. Let me know if you guys can hear me good. Last time I was on, I listened to the show back and thought I was sounded low. So just let me know if I should go a little higher on my sound or if the sound is good. Good sound so far by my man Judge Webb. And let me go from the beginning. Of course, Bat 13. I mean, you know, you just can't. The kid is first everywhere, or should I say, guy? I don't mean to call you a kid, Bat. I guess I just call everybody a kid. But the guy, the man, the gentleman is first everywhere. I mean, somebody can release a video and Bat's there. The live show with the girls, my show here, videos. I mean, it's great support, man, and we definitely thank you for that. So that's Bat. Of course, Scotty is in the house. We got M and K in the house, and Anthony's in the house. Lance, Judge Webb. Hey, look at that. Barbecue Mama in the house. It is definitely good to see her. We've got the triple header going tonight. That makes me feel kind of special. And I think I got everybody in there. And Johnny is opening up a second window. I am watching him. I don't know if he's having problems, but we're going to, before we bring Johnny on, if anybody knows Johnny, I figured I would break out one of these to make Johnny feel at home. I don't know if this is his brand or not, but I know I would bet that Johnny has a cold one somewhere near him. So let me bring Johnny in. Can you hear us, Johnny?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I got you good. Everybody in the house, just let me know if you can hear Johnny. I see you got a second window open. Hold on, we lost Johnny. Johnny may be going to this one. Okay, Johnny might be going to this one. Let me remove that one. You are definitely clearer on that one.
On the second one?
Yeah, on this one here, you're clearer. The video is better.
Can you hear me okay? And can you see me?
Yeah. I hear you great.
Sorry, you were, I apologize, everybody. When we were backstage, it was kind of cutting up. So I just jumped on my phone real quick to try to go to my phone.
Well, whatever you're on right now, stay on that one.
Okay. Whatever you're on right now. And you can just pull one of them out, right? And
yeah, I'm gonna knock you off there. Yeah. Because I think we're getting a little bit of feedback.
So how's that now?
Yeah, that's better now.
Sorry, I had both of them going, so I was on both of them.
So what's shaking?
Okay, not much, man. You can see me okay and everything. You hear me okay?
Yeah, we're good. We're good to go. And cheers. I'm sure you got one below or no?
Yes, I do. I saw you cracked one. Thank you. I appreciate it. It makes me feel right at home. Cheers to you, brother.
You feel at home. So where do we start with Johnny? So I'm guessing some people in the chat follow you. Scotty says you're the man.
Yeah, Scotty. Yeah, Scotty. I know Scotty. He comments on
it seems like you have a whole different following. So there's a group of griddlers, Hussey, Flat Top King, Blacks, the Blackstone Channel. Who am I forgetting? But it seems like the Wall Twins, of course, can't forget them. But it seems like you have a different following than those guys. Every once in a while, when I pop into your channel, it seems like you have just.
We're still there? I'm not sure if Tommy just went away and maybe I'm by myself now. If I am, then it looks like he's not backstage. I can just keep going if we're still live. So I apologize for the technical difficulties we're having on each end here. But yeah, I guess Tommy was saying it seems like I have a different following. I'm not sure. Probably some of the same people, probably some of the different people in the griddling. Probably people that like to drink a little more as well, would be my guess. Because I tend to drink in my videos, so that's probably another reason why. Hopefully Tommy pops back on here. I'm not seeing him or hearing him right now. And I'm not 100% sure if we are still live or if I'm just talking to myself. See what
Yeah.
I hear you now. Did you go out for a second there?
Yeah, hold on. All right. I mean, where's barbecue pops when you need them?
I know.
Let me see if you could lower your sound a little, Johnny. We got some feedback.
Okay.
I may need a beer after this one.
Yeah, I know. Can you only see this one, or can you see the other one from my computer as well?
That's the one. Cut those other ones out. Get rid of them. Like
Well,
this one, we don't need to trade you.
But I don't know if the phone's gonna make it an hour.
Because I don't want to cut you off because I may cut you out.
Yeah, where's the?
Hold on while we work through these technical difficulties. That's whoops.
Yeah, that just took me off. I'm just trying to see how to flip this camera around.
See, I can keep you on that camera and get rid of the other one. Oh, wait.
Well, I mean, this is my phone, and I'm afraid the phone's gonna die, so I'm gonna have to go find a charger. So I'd prefer.
Can you cut that other one off?
The computer?
Yeah. If you're on your phone, you don't need the computer.
Well, the phone's gonna die. That's what I'm saying.
I'm getting feedback.
Yeah, I'd rather cut the phone off because the phone doesn't have enough power.
Okay, so cut the phone off, and I'm going to go to this other stage.
Okay.
I'm going to remove that one and go to there. Whoops. There. Can you hear me? Still getting feedback, though. Can you hear me, Johnny? Looks like your mic was unplugged. How about now? This actually plays out perfect for Johnny, which I'll explain if we can get him back. I think he froze. Feedback? I don't know why I'm getting feedback here. Hold on. Oh, you know why? All right, I think I'm back. But I think we lost Johnny, and Kiki is still up on the main board. Just put a 1 up if you hear me. Let me text Johnny and tell him to go back to that link and try again. Put a 1 up if you guys can hear me good. We'll get this. Sign back in to the show from your Facebook link. All right, I just shot Johnny a text. I see the 1s up there. I appreciate it. Where is paging barbecue pops? Paging barbecue pops. I've even managed to lose Scott a kitten. Just kind of bear with us if you can for a minute till we get Johnny back. Barbecue pops is needed. As I go down this list, I see Gail. And like I was going to say, if anybody watches Johnny, this actually plays in good for his show because as he's coming back on, let me see if we can get him back in here. Can you hear us?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, we got you now.
Okay. Sorry, I got to get something's going on with the internet, so I'm just connecting through my phone. Can you hear me?
That's
okay?
All right. Yeah, everything's good, and we still have like 40 people here, so we didn't lose
I
anybody.
apologize to everybody. Just going to try to connect through my phone and then also plug the phone in to the wall because I don't know if it's going to make it an hour. So, but yeah, if you can hear me okay.
No, it's perfect now.
Okay.
It's perfect now.
You know, so over here. And go ahead.
You're good. So this actually kind of plays in well with you because unlike a lot of the shows on YouTube, yours seems to be the less produced show.
That's putting it nicely for tonight.
Well, I mean, like you don't have like how do you do your shows? I mean, you don't seem to have like a lot of cuts, like where you sit at the computer to edit for hours.
No,
am I correct?
I wouldn't say hours. I would say, I mean, it's definitely not a fast process. None of these are really helping me out here.
You're good. I mean, you're perfect right there.
Yeah, it just feels like they can't. It's too bright. So yeah, I would say it's not like a super. I mean, it feels like it takes me a while. Does that like it feels like to me, but I'm very impatient. But yeah, as far as like I don't know, probably what you're thinking about, like feeling wise, is like is the I mean, yes, I'd say it's probably twofold. I have an idea, so we're just walk and talk with me. It's hopefully your people are okay going on a journey through my basement.
Yeah, we got you.
So I would say I am. It's probably my lack of editing skills and lack of detail oriented. I'm definitely going to stay with that as some of it, and then yes, some of it's on purpose. So how about that?
I think that's the charm of your show.
Yeah, some of it is, you know, some of it is I do go out of my way to try to make it feel like you're in the backyard with me, if that makes sense, and not to be a produced show for Food Network, a bad produced show by me because it would be bad, like for TV. Like it's not like a poorly produced show for TV. So that is on purpose. I want it to be that way. I want it to be natural. Some of it I tried to do vlog related stuff and it did okay, but that was a lot of work. But yeah, so it's both of those things. I'd say it's more just me not being able to do it and being not that tech savvy. And then also, to be honest with you too, when I very first started after COVID, I just did what I could with what I had. I just had my phone. It was all just on my phone. And I didn't have a nice camera and I didn't have a microphone. And so I just voiceover. I did have like a Yeti to do voiceovers from stand-up comedy and stuff. And I would do like interviews on the computer. So I had a Yeti from that. But other than that, I didn't have anything. So that was probably part of it too, where at the beginning I was just like, look, I'm not going to be perfect. I'm just going to make what I can with what I got. And I've got more stuff along the way. And honestly, I'm at the point now, I might be going back closer to that at the beginning because it seemed to work better. And I feel like I've got from it. And sometimes less is more. And I think, oh, now that I have a nicer camera and backyard rather than a little sidewalk behind my condo. And now I actually have a backyard and I can do all this stuff. And it doesn't necessarily make a better product. Sometimes, not to get too far in the weeds, but I think creativity, when it's confined in a box, sometimes you find more creative ways within those parameters rather than being able to do everything under the sun.
I mean, you're the guy next door.
That's the goal. Yeah.
You're the guy next door. Is the beer you, or is that part of the show?
So probably half and half. It is me. I mean, I've always drank a lot. Probably less now that I've had my son, and it's not what
I
it
would hope.
was in my
Hmm.
heyday of college. It is me. I do still drink a fair amount. I do enjoy trying different beers and stuff. I don't push it as much more in the newer videos, but it's not that I mean, I'm in Columbus, Ohio. I'm an Ohio State graduate and fan. I was up all last night watching the game, drinking. Like, that's just kind of a Midwest. The Midwestern thing is me. That is
Hmm.
me. But also, I would say I did stand up comedy for 6 years as a hobby before this, and I was still drinking during that. And as I developed like a stage presence, it was around that. I guess a lot. It was a lot about drinking, too much probably
Hmm.
for my teens, but it was kind of me. And one thing that somebody says a lot in comedy, which I probably brought over to YouTube, is like, I try to be authentic, but like the best comedians are like themselves, but you just push it like 10% further. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like,
Hmm.
you're a little, maybe Jerry Seinfeld was a little neurotic and like a little bit like, and he pushes it like to be kind of a lot. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I drink a fair amount with friends and stuff, but then in comedy, it's like push it a little more, just a little
Yeah.
further. They call it like leaning into your skis when you're skiing. Like, you're just like, you gotta be confident and like lean
Hmm.
into it. I probably carried some of that over.
So do you think your comedy plays well on your show? You're very
Probably.
comfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, I mean, I say a decent amount of jokes. I mean, who knows if they're good, bad, or in between their dad jokes? I don't know. Um, but I would say yes, as far as my comfort level of getting on camera or voicing over, yes. It's the same as I said earlier, like for the production wise, like half of it is like just I could do whatever I need, only what I could do. But the other half is like, yeah, I spent 6 years trying to sound like the guy next door. And a lot of comedy is like trying to you're trying to sound casual for something that you've said hundreds of times in different clubs and stages, and it needs to
Hmm.
sound like a conversation. And that was
Hmm.
my thing, is was trying to be the guy next door. So I worked really hard on like trying to sound casual and stuff. And I do purposeful things, like I don't cut out ums or uhs or I'm not trying to do a perfect like TV show announcer, like tonight on your weekend news it is
Yeah.
shooting on the west side and we're gonna go over to Skip. What do you have on the scene now? Like, I don't like try to like I try to be as much of my normal talking voice as possible and
Hmm.
do little things that I probably did learn from comedy that probably helps to like
Yeah.
make it.
So would you say your two biggest? You're a young guy. I'm thinking 30s.
No, I'm 39. I mean,
30s.
I just turned 39, so almost 40. But
Okay.
yeah,
So are your two biggest traits in your working life the griddle and stand up? Because I know you have a background in short order cook, which we are going to pivot right into.
yeah.
Um,
So
so how did
yeah, stand up wasn't technically a job. I never really got paid more than a couple beers
okay?
per show.
You were the
So
class. You were the class clown. I'm guessing.
yeah, a little bit. It's funny. Stand up's not like it's funny because I have friends who were the class clown, and like I joke with them, and I was the guy on recess, like saying jokes and riffing on other people, but I wasn't always the guy standing up in the middle of class, and which is more common than you find as you meet other comedians. You always think it's the wild one. It's not. It's usually somebody that's like wasn't fully the class clown, but sometimes
Mhm.
it is. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I did a little bit, but I never did comedy like enough to make a living off of it. It was just I did it a lot as a hobby for 6 years, and so yes, but that I mean, I'm very very lucky that I did it and probably made all the money from everything I learned after the fact on YouTube. It benefited on YouTube more than it benefited while I was doing it. And then, but yeah, I worked in food for my entire life pretty much. I only spent, so from 15 until I just quit about 6 months ago, I only spent like 3 of those years not, so that's 20 some years, not working in food. I started retirement communities. I've done everything front of the house, back of house, serving, hosting, cooking, manager, back of house manager, running an entire kitchen. I'm never a chef. I would never call myself a chef. I consider that insulting to the people I worked with that were real chefs and went to culinary school. So I would not say that. But yeah, I did that, and then the comedy, and then kind of the two of them together. I really got lucky with both of those things. That my comedy probably brought slightly different approach to griddling, like you said. Like maybe I have a different style than other people do. But then also my experience in restaurants was very, very lucky that I jumped in when I did, and just got lucky with some things like that people weren't talking about on the griddle that I just happened to know because I worked at Bob Evans. It's not like I'm a great cook. I just happened to be trained through their system, which is been around making breakfast for 50 or 60 years with 500 restaurants. So I mean, they know, you know what I mean? Like, and I just happened to, they're very, very good and a very like stringent training system for a short order. I mean, you pump out that many breakfasts. I'm sure it's the same thing at Denny's and TJ's and stuff like that. I'm sure they have all sorts of training. That's great. So probably a little bit of both, always a little bit of luck, right? Luck and a little bit of hard work, and but still
Now,
luck.
are you still in the food business now
No, I just went full time 4 months ago.
of YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah. So
That's that's got to be I know how the restaurant business is, and it'll beat you down. It'll beat you
yeah,
down
so
because
I started in retirement communities, then went to the restaurants in college, served and bartended until I made my way through college. After college, came back out, was in Bob Evans for 2 years, then back into retirement communities. So my 20 years in food, 15 of them were in retirement communities in those kitchens. So I know what restaurants are like. I worked in them and stuff, but I will say I was lucky enough to be in the retirement communities working with the elderly for a long time. It's not as bad. It's hard, but it's not nearly as bad. The hours are not nearly as bad. And I just have to get out. Like I said, I do enjoy drinking, but like if you work in restaurants for a while, like you got to get out. If you don't get out, you start to be on their time frame. You're on their schedule, late nights. When you get off, the only other people getting off are the people you're working with, and that's 1 in the morning.
I
And
know.
next thing you know, that's
I
just
mean,
your hours at 1 in the morning. You're out with people you don't want to be out with, and it just
I
ends up
mean,
being a vicious cycle until you just say, "I got to get out of it." So after I managed at Bob Evans, I was like, "I'm getting out." When I had a chance to get back in a
yeah.
retirement community, I took it.
I joke with my wife because I've been married like 35 years.
Yeah,
If I stayed in the restaurant business, there's no way that we would still be married because
yeah,
the lure, with the waitresses and the drinking and the blow, it's just people don't realize the scene that goes on in these restaurants.
yeah. It's not. I mean, and it depends which ones you're at, and it's not good. But then also it does it like even at Bob Evans, which is like I forget where are you located at again, Tommy? You're on the East Coast.
I'm in Jersey.
That's what I thought. Okay, so have you been to a Bob Evans, or you're familiar with it?
I have been. I have been. I lived in Atlanta for 3 years. I think I was in them there. I think
It's a
I know the
family.
style.
Yeah, it's a family diner. Like it's
Yeah,
not.
maybe not gonna get much there. Yeah,
Yeah, but no, but you still would be surprised, I guess, is what I
yeah.
was saying. Like when I worked in college, I worked at a Jimmy Buffett themed restaurant. And so, like, yeah, you would assume shift ends and these people are just partiers. But even at Bob Evans, like, you're like, man, like, you're just like, you're just surprised. And you're like, this is, I made the decision right when I had out of college, I had the opportunities. Like, I got to get away from this. This isn't the
Yeah.
lifestyle of my
I
life.
mean, the restaurants that I worked in were turned into a club
Yeah.
after, and I'm the owner's son. So think where that goes, and everyone's coming up to me, and yeah, I mean it was definitely, just it was fun, but it wouldn't have been something ever that I was going to, be married and doing. And again, too, with the restaurant business or whatever, even Bob Evans, you got to work holidays, you got to work weekends, you got to work nights. It's split work. It's a
Yeah.
tough. It's tough. It's tough work. Not to mention, besides the chef, who is, no offense to chefs, but they're the ones that are probably, and I know they got a lot of pressure on them, and I don't mean it that way, but the chefs are the ones that are probably working the less. They're not usually the chefs I work with never work the line, stuff like that. But they get paid the money, but the line cooks are the ones that don't get paid enough money, as far as I'm
Right.
concerned, because they're the
Yep.
ones that are really pushing out the dinners and and stuff like that. It's just a tough business.
It is. It
Um,
really is.
so your YouTube, which I didn't even know. So your YouTube now, you said 4 months.
Yeah. May, June, July, August, September, 5.
And how many videos a week do you put out? Have you upped your
Yeah,
play?
just one. Just one. I really focused on building this course. We didn't really talk about that. I don't know. I don't want to plug a bunch of stuff if you don't want me
Yeah, you could
plugging.
talk. You could talk, plug and talk about anything you want. You got a
Well,
newsletter.
I might be selling ShamWows by the end of this thing. You never know.
Didn't
Yeah. No, I made this course because I wanted to get something that wasn't just necessarily YouTube money, that I owned. It's going okay. It's a beginner griddler course. I'm gonna add to it and see how it goes. Um,
there's a
so I've
question
been
up there.
Comedy Club in Ohio. No, I haven't, Maddie. Not yet. I need to though. But yeah. So I made that, and then I'm going back to the videos, and then I'm going to grow that, and then I started a little private community. I did tell you about that.
Hmm.
I'm working on that. And they're both going good, but I'm just trying to spread out the different ways, I was hitting it a little harder through the summer, as you know, for obviously for our line of YouTube work, it's very busy.
Yeah, it's been tough.
So I tried to put out a bunch of videos then, and then as summer kind of ended, I figured I'd try to make these things that I own other than the ebook and then a
Hmm.
video course, and just try to then hit next year pretty hard and see if I can sell a couple of these as just another way to make a little bit of income that's not just strictly from the views. So I don't know. It's
Well,
all a learning process. I have no idea, to be honest with you.
yeah, and
It's all
anytime you want to talk on the phone, just email, text me, and then
yeah,
call me.
absolutely.
So YouTube is going to be, if I had to put in figures for you, I've been full time now for, I think, probably, well, since COVID, middle COVID. So
Yeah,
YouTube is a small chunk of the money that you're going to make. Now you're in a different bracket though, because you're going to make a little bit more money on YouTube than me.
yeah,
But so say for you maybe 50%, and then the rest of your income is going to come from like deals that you may sign, moving forward. At least that's what I see, and that's what
yeah.
works for
Sponsor.
me. Yeah, you don't want to put all your eggs in YouTube
Yeah,
because who knows.
yeah,
Um,
exactly, exactly.
you know, Facebook is paying better than YouTube now. If you do anything over on Facebook, I
Not
don't
a
know if
lot.
you do.
I
Yeah,
should try.
Facebook is good, but I think like you were saying, you have a newsletter. Um,
Yes.
if you want to talk about that, because that's a good money stream, because you've got people that follow you, and people
Yeah, I have a
want to
newsletter all
support you.
about griddling. Um, it is goes out every Saturday. It's a short and sweet email newsletter, just about griddling, and there's like 8,000 people on it. So and then from there I do my ebook and then my course as well, and then the private community is just like 25 people that just pay like $10 a month. It's similar to a Patreon where it's really just
Mhm.
people that support me. But they get the course in the community and the ebook, and we chat. It's really like a private Facebook group is all it is. It's a lot of fun. People are super, super
Yeah.
nice. And like when I was making the course, I get bounce things off them for feedback. There's different levels of griddlers in there. So it's like, does this make sense? Have you made this before? If you haven't made this before, does this video walk you through it in a logical way? Stuff like
Mhm.
that. So yeah, so that's kind of where it's at. And yeah, I'm just trying to go as many different ways as I can, and just see what works, and then just go from there. But still, just hopefully make videos that people want to watch and that are helpful to teach them how to cook on the griddle.
Yeah. How many subscribers do you have? Do
Um,
you know? Oh,
113 or something, 14.
113.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you've got a good approach because right now is a slow time.
Mhm.
Um, it'll pick up a little around the holidays and then it'll slow off again. But, so for you to gear up for next year, get all your ducks in a row for say is,
For
is
sure.
probably is probably a good move. Now, do you talk to any of the other griddle channels? Flat
No,
Top
not
King,
really.
Wall
No,
Twins?
if I talk to you more than anybody else, and we only chatted like 5 or 6 times. I'm trying to think. Um, Neil, Flat Top King, we've had sent like 2 messages back and forth, and then we've commented on each other's videos, but we haven't like personally talked. The Wall Twins have commented on a video, and I've commented on theirs that like only like twice. I've never talked to what's Hussey's first name? Matthew
Yeah,
Hussey.
yeah, Hussey, yeah,
I haven't talked to him. So I'm trying to think. No, I haven't really. I haven't really. I mean, I would. I mean, they're all super nice. I
yeah.
love all the channels, but I haven't really conversed with them offline that much.
Now the Wall Twins, I spent some time with them in Florida, and they are definitely good people.
They seem like
And same thing with Hussey and obviously Neil, as you know. They're basically the only ones that I've spoken to besides you. I've not talked to Tovin, or any of those guys.
I haven't
Um,
talked to anybody at Black. Well, someone at Blackstone reached out at some point, um, offered us a griddle, and then just kind of went radio silent. But other than that, I
So
haven't
you're
talked.
going to get offers for sure. Are you interested in signing an offer with a company?
Not particularly, unless it was like a lot. Like Camp Chef was nice enough to send me the griddle now, and they said it was fine. They no strings attached. Just use it, which I use it. I've only really used their griddles, but I'm not like attached to them. I have a 2 burner Blackstone. So yeah, it would just depend what it was. I mean, I just don't want to. Which a lot of people are like this. I just don't want to feel like it would sway my content or something. I don't know. I'm like Camp Chef sent me the griddle and all their spatulas and stuff. And
Yeah,
I just for example, like I don't love their spatulas. They said,
yeah.
you know,
I'll tell you,
and
that's a good point that you just made.
I don't have to
Halo,
use those spatulas and feel like I'm lying when like I know they're not terrible. Just I'm not gonna be using them anymore. I just have other
yeah,
ones I like. But I don't have to, and I don't owe it to them. I love their griddle, but I can just still be honest. But I'm also never going to be the guy out there that I don't want to. It's like hammering other companies for no reason. Like that's not a good way
no.
to do
I
life or
talk
business.
to I speak to Scotty a lot offline. We hold, and I try to explain this to Scotty. We hold great power, more power than you think. If you put a video out bashing a camp chef, let's say, that's going
Mhm.
to hurt them.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's going to hurt them because your video is going to be on YouTube for years to come. And
yeah,
your videos get a lot of views. You're going
hmm
to lose them sales, and just because and this is what I try to explain to Scotty or other people, just because you hated the camp chef doesn't mean Tim next door doesn't love
Right.
the pit,
And that's the other
so
thing. And like, so that's the whole reason, not that, like, that's the whole reason of me, like, also building the course and the email is like, if I'm going to push something, I want to push something I own and then I can stand behind. And if someone says it sucks, then I can change it. You know what I mean? Like, I can change. If someone bought my course, bought my ebook, and they don't like it, I'll happily give them their money back. And I won't
mhm.
have any hard feelings. Or if there wasn't something in there that they felt like wasn't clear, I'll go film it and make it and put it in
Yeah,
there
yeah,
and make it clear and not feel like it's mine. Like I can do that and I can be honest, so that at least when I'm sitting there selling something or like having a chat on live like this, I can at least confidently be like, yes, this is my product. That's good. Um, Rather than just being like, oh, you should buy all these accessories from so and so
yeah,
brand. And maybe some of them aren't. I don't know. Like I haven't tried
yeah,
them all. And also, not sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. I didn't start this to be able to quit my full time job to then still work for somebody. Basically, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
that's the
So
same thing. Like you're doing the same thing.
yeah. So the thing really that I was getting at though, I was more of not you when I say sign a deal with a company, and it's just a good revenue stream. What I really mean is like you see how Blackstone has creators on their YouTube channel cooking for them.
Yeah, yeah. Hussey does it. So
Yeah,
does
so
Crazy.
that's more what I was talking about
Yeah,
when I mentioned if you do something like that because I'll tell you that's a great revenue stream. I do that for Z Grills and make some pretty decent money.
always
That's what I was
open.
getting
Yeah,
at with you. Um,
absolutely. Yeah, always would. It just depends what what we were they're talking about. So, but
yeah,
yeah, I'm always open to anything. You just never know where life takes you.
yeah. I mean that's a good point. I mean, so this is a pretty cool question, if I must say. So everybody has a spot that they can pinpoint to that, and I'm sure you have thought about this maybe because you're in a lucky position right now, right? I mean, you're not getting up for work tomorrow. You're rolling out of bed to do this. Not that this isn't work, but you're
Yeah,
luckier than as well as I am, and as well
yeah,
as some of the people in this chat. We are luckier than a lot of people in the country.
yeah.
So my question, which is a deep one, at what point in your life have you pinpointed that has taken you to this spot right now today? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know if I could give you just one point. Um
So
it seems like a very
was there a time in your life when you didn't have to cook at a restaurant and you were offered a job in construction?
no, well, yeah. So I worked at I did sales for the last 2 years at a place that sold grills, but it also mainly sold gas fireplaces. So that's how I got out of the food business. And they
Okay.
also sold grill and Big Green Egg, and so it felt like a chance
Hmm.
to bridge the gap a little bit until I took
Hmm.
the break, you know. But yeah, I would say, I mean, when I finally left, I mean, yeah, if anybody cares, there's a video on my channel called like My Story that's like me just making breakfast for like 35 minutes and telling this whole story.
Oh, no shit.
Um,
Okay.
how I'm doing comedy, my son was born, but the too long didn't read version is yeah, COVID hit, my son's born. I got pinched nerve sciatica in my leg. So I'm moving from one retirement community to another one for a better opportunity of better hours for my family and better money. But it's COVID. No one wants to work in healthcare. And I have no staff. And I started working like 6 days a week. I mean, it's back to regular restaurant stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
6 days a week, 10 hours a day on my feet. I couldn't stand. I mean, I was just coming home and like my leg is just shot because it's just,
Yeah.
you know,
So
and I,
there was days then as you were going through this where you just probably just put your hands on the desk or whatever and said, just sucks.
yeah.
I
Oh,
can't.
I mean, it was terrible. I remember
Yeah.
coming home one night and just sitting in the shower and just I got in the shower and then I couldn't stand that I'm just laying in the shower because sorry for the visual.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
my sciatica hurts so much. My
Yeah.
son's out there, my wife's out there, and I'm like, I can't even like I was like, I just want to lay here. I can't even stand because I just stand for 10 hours and the next day is the same thing. People call off every other day. We couldn't get any staff. And it was just miserable. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't. And it's weird because the YouTube channel was absolutely blowing up like at that point because I was still
Yeah.
doing all that in the free time as I laid in bed at night and my wife and my son were asleep. Like I was editing videos and doing all
Yeah.
that. And that was the way
Yeah.
of like, how can I get this out? Like I don't have time to. I don't have 8 hours to edit one video.
I hear you.
How can I get this out and then move on to the next one? And it was blowing up and I had the best summer. This is like 2 summers ago, 3 summers ago or
Yeah.
something.
We all did. We all did. That was COVID.
Yeah. Well, I started at COVID. So this is 2 years after COVID.
Okay.
Or 1 year. So I went through the first summer, it was pretty good, got monetized. And
Mhm.
the second summer, it like skyrocketed. And it's just like, and you're seeing this money come in, but there's no other money. And it's like, well, how? Well, I don't know. Maybe this is a real thing, but how am I going to do this with just that money? And that's when I started the ebook and looking into like,
Yeah.
okay, and newsletter. And I've been doing that for 2.5 years.
Mhm.
And started doing that. But yeah, I mean, so there was multiple moments, but yes, there's definitely days where it was just like, I just can't do this. I can't stand. I can't physically do this anymore. But the
So are you
video of my
having
story goes over it. It's on my page. That the thumbnail just says like my story. And I'm cooking the whole
are you
time.
are you having fun now?
I am. I go back and forth. I'm sure you do this of where it's like I'm a very financially. I've worked since I was 15 years old. Before I was legally allowed to. I refereed soccer when I was 13 years old until I was 15 under the table, and then I got a job at 15 in food. And I've always worked. I worked all the way through college and stuff. And there's always been that security blanket of that check coming every 2 weeks. So it's a fine line between like me worrying like what if the faucet gets turned off because this isn't like
Yeah.
a job and then also some days of just like you said like I get started around 6 each morning and I'll go to like Panera or something and
Yeah.
I'll walk out at 9 o'clock to take a break from editing and I just gotta like stop and like you say like just be so thankful to be like watching like all these people are driving into work. Like I'm sitting here standing
I
outside of
know.
Panera with the coffee, taking my 10
It's
minutes to before I edit for another hour or so, and just be like,
yeah,
these people are driving in to work.
exactly.
A lot of them might hate it. I cannot take this for granted. I'm going to be done at 3 or 4. I'm going to go pick my son up. I got to take him to a park.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend time with him.
Yeah.
I cannot like let this slip away, and I need to work harder, and I need to make this work because this is an unbelievable opportunity that I've been blessed
Yeah.
with.
You
And
know,
that's just
my wife says to me, uh, just a couple of weeks ago, she said, "I thought you were going to slow down a little bit. You know, how come you're working?" And I just said to her, you know, because I'm just having fun. I mean, it's not even. I mean, I know it's work. I'm not. Trust me, I work harder now than I did when I actually worked, but it's
yeah,
fun. You know, so if I'm in my office on a Sunday working, I don't look at it like I'm at the local plant working.
no,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just fun. I still find this fun, and I hear you. You know, I'm on a regimen, strict regimen. You know, I'm up early by 4 o'clock, sometimes 3:30. I'm at the gym at 6. You know, so I'm at the Wawa at 5:45 in the morning, watching people pull in to go to work. I'm going to the gym, you know, and
yeah,
then I'm going to the market to pick up if I'm cooking that day. And then I'm coming home. I'm going to edit. I'm going to cook. Then when I'm done, I don't edit and cook the same day anymore. So I'll
yeah,
cook. Then the next day I'll edit. And it's like, you know, it's like, wow, wow,
yeah. It's
you know,
unbelievable.
and, you know, as you get going, you'll find like I'll have 6 or 7 revenue streams coming in, you know,
That's
checks,
awesome.
this, that. And I'm not saying I'm not rolling in money, you know,
Yeah,
but to think that I can have all these revenue streams coming in, it's just, it's just how, how lucky are we?
Yeah, I mean it's insane. Sorry, I had to go back over to the other charger.
I
Yeah,
got
it's
you.
just, I mean, it's absolutely insane. So I try not to take it for granted and try to,
Yeah. Stay in the moment, stay in the moment, stay in
do
the
my best.
moment, stay grounded. Um, and always realize which you do, because you answered the question perfectly. How lucky we are, um, and the things that I'm quite older than you, so I'm in a different spot than you are. So I've paid my dues, and my wife works and makes good money. So the pressure is not on to me like it is with you, where you say, how am I going to keep the faucet on if this goes? So I'm just in a different spot than you. But
Yeah, I gotta, I mean, also, I guess the other thing I didn't say either that I need to be honest with. Hopefully, you can still see me. Okay, sorry
yeah, I
about
got you.
thing. My lovely wife is also works, and I'm just so lucky that she brings in money for the family as well. So it is not by any means just me.
Yeah.
Um, she does very, very well for herself, and she works very hard. She's a veterinarian, so she did
Oh wow,
eight
look at
years
you.
of school, and to become a doctor. And so there's no way I could do this
Support.
without her. But also, I have the whole thing of like I still um, I'm younger, and I respect her and everything she can do, but I still also have the mentality of like you're the man of the house. Like I still need to be bringing in money. I'm certainly not going to do that. You know what I mean? So I
So
need to be.
it's funny you said that. It's funny you said that, because my wife, and again, I've been married for 34 years, 35 years. She has out earned me. And I don't care. I'm not,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter to me who makes more money, but
No.
she has out earned me throughout our whole relationship until I started the YouTube, until I retired from work and started this. But only a year or so after I started this, I finally upped her.
Wow.
So yeah, so that, just think about that for a second. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And I'm not a hawk too, a 20-year-old girl with boobs, showing my rear. So that's even more cool. I'm doing it through work. You
Hey, you
know.
never know. Sometimes you get needy. We could see maybe we'll see a video of you griddling in some yoga pants someday soon.
Well, I actually answered some questions on Google sent me for the new channel, and I might have hinted in there that I was uh, by, I don't know, trans, whatever those words that are going around today.
Whatever
See if
gets
I
the
can
view.
get some edge that way. But
Absolutely.
so yeah, it's cool, man, and it's pretty cool getting to know you, because again, I've
Yeah.
talked to you, but not to this level here, like I have
No.
talked to some of the other channels, and I didn't even know you were full time.
Yeah. I didn't make like a huge hoopla out of it. I'm trying to think. I did that video of like my story, um, which explaining basically I went through doing comedy um and what happened at work and my sciatica, and like that was kind of the only one that I did. And it was like at the end, I was like, now I'm able to go full time, and a lot of people were super, super, super nice in that video. And at the end, bought a lot of ebooks were sold, and that was just
Yeah,
so nice. People, I know some people that they just flat out said like, I don't really need or want the ebook. I just want to support you
of
since you're going.
course.
Just like it's unbelievable just to see people do that, and I feel that too. Not like, I mean, this is stupid. This is not arrogant, but I mean, sometimes you hear people say like people have said like you're doing it. I'm not doing it for other people, but some people are just like, wow, like it's like I owe it to them. Like they're like, I
Yeah,
want you to be able to do this, and it's like you get the opportunity, and it's like why I owe it to people to try and to do my best because they've put a little bit of money into this to support
yeah,
it.
do something that in your wildest dreams they would never even think of. You know what I mean? Like it's a
Yeah.
little different from my generation, kind of thinking of it, but still weird. But I mean, for your generation, it's like it's insane. It is
Yeah.
insane. You even think about like saying that to somebody 30 years ago.
Well, there was, and I'm sure you had it because I would think every creator does. There was a guilty phase that I went
Oh
through of taking money from people. Like,
yeah,
why does this person want this person? Will, one of my viewers, Will Plunk. I don't think he's in here, but he sent me money out of the blue like 5 years ago. Like I think it was like $25 or something. But I told the wife, like, what do I do? This guy just sent me money. What do I do? I didn't know how to react. Why is this guy paying me? I almost felt guilty. Like, should I send it back? You
yeah.
know, um,
I've
you
told people
know,
no.
it's,
It's
it's, it's humbling, it's
yeah,
humbling.
yeah,
Um, but then as we work and get through, as we work on this, we start spending money and this and that. And, you know, uh, it's just a good feeling, you
yeah.
know.
That was my side note. That was a big thing in my ebook. Sorry, I gotta open another one.
Oh shit! Now, if I
But
cracked another one, I've already got. Believe it or not, I don't drink, so I've
yeah,
already got a mini. I've already got a mini buzz just from the
well, there
one
you go.
beer. I'm a
Yeah,
lightweight.
it sounds a lot cheaper than I have it. But the like that's at least with the ebook. I've had people reach out and say, "Hey, I'll send you money. Grab a beer or something or whatever." And I can at least I can just send them a link, a private Google link to a copy of the book, and just be like, "I don't know if you're going to use this or not, but now in my
Yeah.
mind, I've at least given you something for this transaction." And
Hmm.
at this point, it is everything I possibly know about griddling.
Yeah.
That means something to some people. It means absolutely nothing to others. You know what I mean? Like it's a
Yeah.
zero value.
Yeah.
But I can confidently say, like, it's all I know. It's all after 250 videos and 20 years working it and 2 years at Bob Evans. Like it's everything I know. And it makes me feel better if somebody does send me that to just be like, okay, well, here's this. I assume you got a griddle if you found my channel and you're not just giving people money. So hope maybe if you just use one recipe, then I'll at least feel like the $10 you sent me is not, begging for change on the corner.
I totally get it, and I totally agree with agree with you. To just read some of the comments that people is it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
And I've made as well. Maybe you haven't, um, because you seemed a little because I didn't know much about you, and you never seemed to be in the clique with the other channels. So are you more reserved type dude, or are you just because maybe you were working, or now you're
I
full
don't
time?
I don't know. I don't think I am. I feel like I'm less reserved than that. I don't I feel like I I always thought at some point I know what you're saying. I don't like think about it too much. Um and I'm not like doesn't like bother me or anything, but also like like it works both ways. So I haven't like reached out to try to do stuff just because I didn't know how much I could uphold my end of the commitment. I didn't
Mhm.
want to, but then also sometimes, and this is just my crazy. I didn't know about the drinking and stuff because like I'm like no one drinks in their griddle videos really.
Mhm.
Um, All the people that are like the most successful, and so I don't know if everybody's comfortable with that or not. You know what I
I
mean? And
think I
not
think
that way
I
about them, but who
I
knows?
think that's part of who you are.
Oh, I'm not going to stop doing it, but
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, I always thought like, yeah, like I'm not going to act like you don't see like other people get some stuff and get griddles and get things. And you're like, I'm kind of thought I would have been offered that by now,
Yeah.
and then I wasn't, but I'm not upset. I don't expect free things, but you just kind of like,
Well, because that's what I'm getting at. I don't think you're in the main line. Like, I don't think you've got a great following and your videos do better than most, but for some reason you have stayed under the radar. I feel for some reason, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe going full time, you're going to start to explode with getting contacts.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I really have for that. Haven't really, and I don't know. That's why I always thought it was the drinking. That like, you know,
I
they
don't
didn't
think
want to.
so. I don't think it's the drinking.
But I don't know. But yeah, like as far as views and stuff go, like yeah, like not anymore. But I'm close to like the top 3 or 4. Like usually, well, especially when summer rolls around. Usually seems that I'm getting the same amount as them. But yeah, who knows? I don't know. I'm just happy for the people that watch and like I said,
Yeah,
camp free griddle. What else can I ask for? They have sent me stuff,
yeah,
so I mean that's very nice of them.
cool. That's it, man. That was an hour. We had a little bit of a bumpy start. You're on your second beer. I'm got a small buzz, and going back, it's huh?
That's what I like to hear. Oh, guys on it.
Yeah,
Hi,
yeah.
guys.
I don't really, not really. I don't. I did a lot of stuff. I did a lot of stuff when I was 30, 35, and
Yeah.
I don't really have a head to drink.
No, it gets harder and harder, doesn't it?
I
So
mean,
wake up.
when you partied so hard growing up, it's just, it's just not good for me, really.
Yeah.
So,
So did you go over it? So this is on your old channel. Have you? How's the new channel doing?
look, I I'm not going to go all back into my story, but I started on the griddle when I was 15, 16. I grew up on the griddle. I worked in the restaurant business half my life. If you go to my earlier YouTube videos, which are silly to watch, but I was on the griddle. My channel was supposed to be griddle because I like sauteing. So it's just because I'm a kitchen guy. So it was a natural fit to go from the saute pan to the griddle, right? So then I got the master build and the channel blew up. So that's the gravity fed. So then I started using the gravity fed, and my griddles that cooks didn't get any views. So it was like, the master build was getting 5,000 views and the griddle videos were getting a couple hundred. So, I had to do where YouTube pushed me, and I wish I would have started the griddle channel 2 years ago. But I think now I'm at the point where I'm making enough money to sustain everything. So I just said, screw it. I'm going to start the griddle channel. It's going to take time, but I love cooking on the griddle. So I really don't care how long it takes, because I'm lucky because the gallery channel is still going to drive the bank account until the griddle channel hopefully takes off. But again, my love is in cooking. So it doesn't matter to me. Like I think Scotty said, you're going to start from beginning or to put that time in, but that's okay, because if you like to cook or love to cook like you do, right? It's in your blood. It's there's nothing like cooking on the griddle. I joke to Scotty and a couple other people, smoking meats is like, you put a brisket on and you wait 15 friggin' hours, it's just not that fun after a while.
And I love smoking, but I'll not. That is my because I worked. We were a big green egg dealer and a lot of big smoker guys and stuff like that. And I love it. And the Traegers and stuff, they're all fun. But I don't know why this is my pet peeve. It was always about smoking. Was when someone told you that they spent 15 hours on this brisket. You're like, no, you did not.
Yeah.
No, you did not. You spent 30 minutes prepping it, and then the grill spent 14 and a half hours cooking it. And I don't know what, that for some reason, that's my pet peeve with smokers. Like you worked a full 15 hours. It's like, no, that's not the same thing. But I love it. But no, but yeah, I'm a griddle person too.
There's a lot more involved working a saute pan than there is working a grill. Nothing's better than it. you
Yeah,
know,
Sunday
there's just,
nothing's better.
yeah, there's just a lot more. It takes a lot more. I don't want to say talent, but you can make a lot more mistakes on a saute pan than you can on a smoking meats. For say. I mean, there's general guidelines smoking meats, but things can go awry real quick when you're trying to cook in a saute pan.
Yeah, it's
That's what
smoke.
I
I mean, it's
feel.
smoked through the oven. I mean, uh, it's a man oven is what it is. It's outside and it runs on wood, so it's a man
Yeah.
oven. And you're baking meat in it, but yeah, but it's still a fun time and it's still
Oh,
delicious.
no doubt, man. I love barbecue and grilling and smoking, but it's just time for me to mix it up.
Excited for you, man.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks. And we'll like we talked about, we'll be doing something down the road for sure together.
Absolutely. I look forward to doing it.
That's it, man. I'm going to cut you
All right,
off. You have any?
first, but I'm glad. I appreciate the opportunity to come on here. I'm happy to do it anytime if you ever need somebody else to chat. And I love chatting and talking about food.
Cool, man. And I'll shoot you a text during the week, and we'll see if we can get something else together. And also keep me up on whatever you're going to do, which should be a live show.
Yep, I will do that for sure. It'll be a blast.
Cool, man. Thanks, brother.
All right, have a good one.
All right, cheers, man. He's a cool dude, right? He's the quiet. I don't want to say he's the quiet one because he's not the quiet one, but he's, like I said on the show, he's not in the clique like with everybody, and that's pretty cool. I mean, that's fine, but you could see he's a genuine guy, man. He's he's the neighbor next door type dude. So that's it, man. That was a pretty quick hour. I got Scott a Kitten back there ready. I got that beer in me. Everything comes in time. We'll go through these real quick. It's a fun dam. You drink for the 15 hours. I mean, I won't drink for the 15 hours. As usual, great show, HT, and the barbecue food gets old. And yeah, the bar and they're a perfect example, the girls, because they have a lot of talent to be grilling a pork butt. Too much talent to be grilling a pork butt. Great show, guys. Have a good week. Stopped in, Jay. It is always good to see you, my friend. Bat 13, remain being first. I appreciate that. And that's it, man. Scott, you're going to close it out. Let's end this right here, and we'll see if I'm back here next week. I know I have Kathy, the octopus girl, is in the house. The best hair on the. I don't know if anybody's seen that octopus video, but if you want to watch the first the first minute of that video, I talk about how Kathy has the best hair on the net, and then I show a brief picture of me with an afro that is about as tall as my ceiling. So that flashes up there. That was a fun cook, Kath, and I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, that video is up on the gallery channel if you want to see me with an afro and see Kathy's gorgeous head of hair. All right, man, that's it. I'm going to end the show right there. And look, that is it, man. I appreciate all you guys for watching. Will I be here next week? We will see. I've got some License to Griddle hats to give away. Stay tuned for that. And until next time, we will see you soon.